decays into B with half-life period of 10 seconds. Also convert into C with a half-life of 100 seconds. Find half-life of A. तो यहाँ पे जो पेरेंट जो रेडियोएक्टिव न्यूक्लियस है उसका अपने को यहाँ पे हाफ लाइफ पीरियड यहाँ पे क्या करना है, फाइंड आउट करना है. In this type of condition, here suppose this is a parent nucleus. Please convert it into another nucleus having half life period of 10 seconds. This A also convert into another nucleus having half life of 100 seconds. And we want to find the half life of original nucleus. एक अपने को रेडियोएक्टिव सब्सटेंस दिया हुआ है, वो दो रेडियोएक्टिव सब्सटेंस में क्या हो रहा है या दो पार्ट में क्या हो रहा है, कन्वर्ट हो रहा है. एक कन्वर्ट हो रहा है बी में और उसी का एक पार्ट कन्वर्ट हो रहा है सी में. जो बी में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है तो उसका हाफ लाइफ पीरियड 10 सेकंड है. जो सी में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है उसका हाफ लाइफ पीरियड अपने को 100 सेकंड दिया हुआ है. मतलब एक ओरिजिनल न्यूक्लियस दो और न्यूक्लियस में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है, दो और रेडियोएक्टिव सब्सटेंस में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है, जिसमें एक का हाफ लाइफ पीरियड 10 सेकंड, दूसरे का हाफ लाइफ पीरियड 100 सेकंड दिया हुआ है. ऐसे सिचुएशन में ये जो पहला न्यूक्लियस है इसका हाफ लाइफ पीरियड अपने को यहाँ पे क्या करना है, फाइंड आउट करना है. सो बाय लॉ ऑफ डिसइंटीग्रेशन, we can solve this. Here we know that lambda 1 is the decay constant of the first nucleus, lambda 2 is the decay constant of the second nucleus, and we know that lambda is inversely proportional to half life period. That is the decay constant of any radioactive substance is always inversely proportional to its half life period. So lambda is inversely proportional to 1/2. Therefore here lambda A equals to lambda B plus lambda C. Therefore 1 upon Ta is equal to 1 upon Tb plus 1 upon Tc. So 1 upon Ta is equal to, what is the value of Tb? 10 seconds. What is the value of Tc? 100 seconds. Therefore it is equal to 100 plus 10 upon 1000. So it is equal to 110. So 1 upon Ta, it is equal to 1 upon Ta is equal to 110 divided by 1000. 1 0 get cancel. So 11 upon 100. So 1 upon Ta, it is equal to 11 upon 100, and therefore Ta, it is equal to 100 upon 11. Now 100 upon 11, we know that 100 upon 10 is nothing but approximately 10. So here the denominator increases by 1. Hence the value of this fraction is less than 10. So Ta is approximately equal to 9. Is that clear? एक ओरिजिनल न्यूक्लियस अपने को दिया था, रेडियोएक्टिव सब्सटेंस दिया हुआ था, वो दो पार्ट में डिवाइड हो रहा था. एक का टाइम पीरियड अपने को दिया, हाफ लाइफ टाइम पीरियड दिया हुआ था 10 सेकंड, दूसरे का हाफ लाइफ टाइम पीरियड दिया हुआ था अपने को 100 सेकंड. इसके ऊपर से जो ओरिजिनल पेरेंट न्यूक्लियस है उसका हाफ लाइफ पीरियड अपने को यहाँ पे क्या करना था, फाइंड आउट करना था. इज दैट क्लियर? थैंक यू. Another example which is related to the gravitation. For example, यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल क्या दिया हुआ है वो देखिए. In this example, it is given that there are two bodies. Body A is at the equator, that is on the surface of the earth, on the equator. At that time, the acceleration due to gravity is GE. Another body is present from the surface of the earth, that is from the surface of the pole at a height h, where the acceleration due to gravity is gh. The mass of the bodies are same. Here the body A is present, here the body B is present. तो फर्स्ट बॉडी इक्वेटर पे प्रेजेंट है, सेकेंड बॉडी पोल के ऊपर प्रेजेंट है, लेकिन h इतने हाइट के ऊपर प्रेजेंट है. दोनों बॉडी का मास सेम है. ऐसे सिचुएशन में h, ये जो हाइट है, इसकी वैल्यू मुझे इन टर्म्स ऑफ रेडियस क्या करना है, यहाँ पे फाइंड आउट करना है. सो वी वांट टू फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ h इन टर्म्स ऑफ r. सो h की वैल्यू अपने को यहाँ पे क्या करना है, डिटरमाइन करना है. Now we know that the general formula for the body which is present at the equator is nothing but GE, it is equal to G minus R omega square. GE is equal to G minus R omega square. And the body is at a height from the surface of the pole is nothing but GH is equal to G in bracket 1 minus twice h upon r. GH is equal to G in bracket 1 minus twice h upon r. So here acceleration due to gravity on the equatorial surface, here the acceleration due to gravity at a height h from the surface of the pole. So GH and this is GE. It is already given that the weight of this body and the weight of this body are equal. यानी पॉइंट ए के पास में या पॉइंट इक्वेटर के पास में जो बॉडी है उसका वेट और पोल के सरफेस से h इतने हाइट पे जो बॉडी रखी हुई है उसका वेट दोनों का सरीका है. दोनों का वेट सेम है और दोनों का मास सेम है, ये गिवन है. इसका मतलब यहाँ पे अपन डायरेक्टली एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी को क्या कर सकते हैं, कंपेयर कर सकते हैं. सो हियर GH is equal to GE. GH is equal to GE, and therefore GH is nothing but G in bracket 1 minus twice h upon r. It is equal to G minus r omega square. Acceleration due to gravity GH का फॉर्मूला लिखिए. G in bracket 1 minus twice h upon r. It is equal to G minus r omega square. Now here we solve G minus twice hg upon r. It is equal to G minus r omega square. Small g get cancel, minus get cancel. So twice hg upon r, it is equal to r omega square. Hence h is equal to r square omega square. R square omega square upon twice g. R square omega square upon twice g. So this is the formula for h in terms of radius of earth. यहाँ पे अगर आपने देखे तो ये स्मॉल जी कैंसिल हो गया. उसके बाद में यहाँ पे इसको अगर अपन सॉल्व करते हैं तो ट्वाइस एच जी अपॉन आर माइनस ट्वाइस यहाँ पे आर ओमेगा स्क्वायर आ रहा है. तो यहाँ पे ट्वाइस एच जी upon r is equal to r omega square. We want to find the value of h in terms of r. So h is equal to r square omega square. R into r square into omega square upon twice g. So in this way this example can be explained. Thank you very much. Then the next example related to the moment of inertia and oscillation. Here there are two types of rings are given. For example, this is the first ring and this first ring is oscillating about a tangential axis in its plane about a tangential axis in its plane with time period of t1. Another ring is also oscillating about an axis perpendicular to the ring, that is perpendicular to the ring. So here the axis of rotation is like this, here axis of rotation is like this. With a period of t2. So in this example, the two types of rings are given. In this example, two types of rings are given. The first ring is oscillating about an axis, about a tangential axis in its plane, about a tangential axis in its plane with a time period of t1. Second ring at the same time is given. It is oscillating about an axis perpendicular to the plane of the ring and tangent to the ring, having a period of t2. And in that case, we want to find the ratio of t1 by t2. So in this case, this is the ring. For ring, the moment of inertia, for ring, the moment of inertia of a ring about a tangential axis in its plane. फर्स्ट रिंग के अंदर क्या हो रहा है? The moment of inertia of a ring about a tangential axis in its plane is nothing but 3/2 mr square. So here I1 is equal to 3/2 mr square. In case of second ring, moment of inertia about the tangent perpendicular to plane is nothing but I2. It is equal to twice mr square, because this is mr square plus mr square, that is nothing but twice mr square. Here this is nothing but mr square by 2 plus mr square, that is nothing but a 3/2 mr square. Suppose this distance is nothing but r, or the radius of the ring is nothing but r. So in this case, here we consider the diameter, here we consider the axis which is perpendicular to the plane of the ring and passing through its center. So the moment of inertia of the first ring which is oscillating is equal to I1 is equal to 3/2 mr square, and in case of second ring, the moment of inertia I2 is equal to twice mr square. We want to find the period of oscillation. We want to find the period of oscillation of the first ring and the second ring in terms of ratio. Now it is performing oscillation. It is also performing oscillatory motion. So in case of oscillation, we know that period is inversely proportional to the moment of inertia. In case of oscillation, period is directly proportional to square root of moment of inertia. So T1 upon T2 is equal to under root of I1 upon I2. Hence we can get T1 upon T2 is equal to, what is the value of I1? 3/2 mr square. So here we can put 3/2 mr square upon, what is the value of I2? Twice mr square, and therefore mr square get cancelled. So under root of 3/2 upon 2, that is nothing but 3/4. So the correct answer is nothing but T1 by T2. T1 by T2 is equal to under root 3/4. बहुत ही सिंपल और लॉजिकल एग्जांपल था. यहाँ पे कॉम्बिनेशन था मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया और ऑसिलेशन का. मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया का इसलिए क्योंकि यहाँ पे रिंग का एग्जांपल दिया हुआ, और वो रिंग जो थी वो अबाउट टेंजेंशियल एक्सिस और अबाउट परपेंडिकुलर एक्सिस रोटेट हो रही थी. और सेकंड बोले तो उसी वक्त यहाँ पे ऑसिलेट हो रही थी, तो यहाँ पे ऑसिलेटरी मोशन थी. ऐसे कंडीशन में उनका टाइम पीरियड का रेशियो अपने को यहाँ पे क्या करना था, फाइंड आउट करना था. सो T1 upon T2 is equal to under root I1 upon I2, but the value of I1, that is the moment of inertia of a ring, first ring in its about a tangent in its plane, is 3/2 mr square, and in second case the moment of inertia of a ring above the tangent in its plane is nothing but twice mr square. So T1 upon T2 is equal to under root 3 by 2 mr square upon twice mr square. So T1 by T2 is equal to under root 3 by 4. Is that clear? Thank you very much. Then next example is, there is a prism of refractive index 1.5. Prism angle is 2 degree. Find minimum deviation caused by this prism. मतलब इस न्यूमेरिकल के अंदर अपने को एक प्रिज्म दिया हुआ है जिसका रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स 1.5 है और उसका एंगल जो है, एंगल ऑफ डिविएशन, सॉरी प्रिज्म का जो एंगल है वो 2 डिग्री दिया हुआ है और अपने को एंगल ऑफ मिनिमम डिविएशन दैट इज डेल्टा एम वी वांट टू फाइंड. अब डेल्टा एम के लिए अपने को ऑप्शन दिए हुए हैं. पहला ऑप्शन 1 डिग्री, सेकंड ऑप्शन 2 डिग्री, थर्ड ऑप्शन 1/3 डिग्री and fourth option is 1/2 degree. So in this case, angle of minimum deviation for prism angle of minimum deviation, it is equal to mu minus 1 into a. Angle of minimum deviation, that is delta m, it is equal to mu minus 1 into a. Why we take delta m? Because the angle of prism is 2 degree. When the angle of prism is very small, then we can write del m. So del m is equal to mu minus 1 into a. What is the value of mu? It is 1.5 minus 1 multiplied by a, that is nothing but 2 degree. So here 1.5 minus 1, that is nothing but 0.5 multiplied by 2 degree. It is equal to 0.5 is nothing but 1/2 multiplied by 2 degree, and therefore we can write 1 degree. So angle of minimum deviation by this prism is nothing but 1 degree. Angle of minimum deviation by this prism is equal to 1 degree. एंगल ऑफ मिनिमम डिविएशन मतलब जो प्रिज्म है वो प्रिज्म कम से कम कितना एंगल से डिवाइड करेगा, तो 1 डिग्री से वहां पे डिवाइड करेगा. एक्चुअली इस न्यूमेरिकल के अंदर, शॉर्ट न्यूमेरिकल के अंदर अपने को प्रिज्म का रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स दिया हुआ था, उसका एंगल दिया हुआ था, उसका एंगल दिया था प्रिज्म का, और उसके ऊपर से अपने को एंगल ऑफ मिनिमम डिविएशन यहाँ पे क्या करना था, फाइंड आउट करना था. सो डेल एम इट इज इक्वल टू म्यू माइनस 1 इंटू ए. mu 1.5 minus 1 multiplied by 2 degree, that is nothing but 0.5 multiplied by 2 degree, 0.5 is nothing but 1/2 multiplied by 2 degree, and therefore del m is equal to 1 degree. So the angle of minimum deviation of that prism is nothing but 1 degree. So this is the correct answer of this numerical. An ideal diatomic gas is taken through adiabatic process in which density increases to 32 times. If pressure increases to n times, find the value of n. Means in this case the density of the gas increases by 32 times and we want to find the value of n. n is nothing but how much time the value of pressure increases. As we know that in adiabatic process temperature throughout not constant. So in adiabatic process P v raised to power gamma, it is equal to constant. P v raised to power gamma is equal to constant. What is V? V is nothing but the volume of the gas, P is nothing but the pressure of the gas, and gamma is nothing but the constant for the gas, which is, that is, either it is monoatomic, which is diatomic, or polyatomic, that is the triatomic. So here the diatomic gas is given. So given data में अपने को दिया हुआ है density increases to 32 times initial density. So final density is rho 2, initial density is rho 1, and the number of times by which the density increases, which is 32. So rho 2 is equal to rho 1 times, 32 times rho 1. We know that pressure, volume is nothing but mass upon density, because density is equal to mass upon volume. So we write P m upon rho raised to power gamma, it is equal to constant. As we know that the mass of the gas is always remains constant. As we know that the mass of the gas always remains constant. Hence, since mass is constant, since mass of the gas is constant, so P directly proportional to rho raised to power gamma. As P directly proportional to rho raised to power gamma, hence P2 upon P1, it is equal to rho 2 upon rho 1 raised to power gamma. What is the value of rho 2? 32 times rho 1. So P2 by P1, it is equal to 32 times rho 1 upon rho 1 raised to power gamma. Gamma की वैल्यू कितनी आएगी? 1.4, because for diatomic gas the value of gamma is nothing but 1.4. It is equal to rho 1 get cancel, so 32 raised to power 1.4. 32 is nothing but 2 raised to power 5. 1.4 is nothing but 7 by 5. This 5 get cancel, so 2 raised to power 7, and 2 raised to power 7 is nothing but 128. So P2 upon P1, it is equal to 128. So pressure, final pressure is nothing but 128 times increases as compared to initial pressure. That is, P2 is equal to 128 times P1. So what is the value of N? P2 is equal to N times P1. So N is nothing but 128. So N is equal to 128. So the correct answer of this example is nothing but 128. Once again I will explain. In adiabatic process, PV raised to power gamma is equal to constant. Here it is already given that in numerical density increases by 32 times initial density. That is, rho 2 is equal to 32 times rho 1. We know that volume is equal to m upon, that is, mass upon density. So P in bracket m upon rho raised to power gamma is equal to constant. Since mass of gas is always remains constant, any type of gas अपन लेते हैं तो उसका मास जो रहेगा वो हमेशा कांस्टेंट रहेगा. Since mass is always constant, so P directly proportional to rho raised to power gamma. Therefore we can write P2 upon P1 equals to rho 2 upon rho 1 raised to power gamma. P2 by P1 is equal to 32 times rho 1 upon rho 1 raised to power 1.4. It is equal to 32 times power 1.4. 1.4 is nothing but 7 by 5. Why we are taking 1.4? Because it is given diatomic gas. Which type of gas? Diatomic. So 2 raised to power 5 raised to power 7 by 5. This 5 get cancelled. 2 raised to power 7. Hence P2 by P1 is equal to 128. So P2 is equal to 128 times P1. So P2 is equal to N times P1. What is the value of N? It is nothing but 128. So N is equal to 128. So the correct answer of this numerical is nothing but 128. Thank you.